Why do we say cow and beef, but not cow meat? Why is English so weird? Well, it's because of history and some very snobby Frenchmen. A long time ago, England's people were called the Anglo-Saxons. We spoke a language called Old English. We carried around big axes, we looked pretty cool, and we had a very unlucky king called Harold. One day, a strong man from the north of France, a place called Normandy, he came to England with an army. He killed all of our soldiers, and our unlucky king received an arrow in his eye. That strong man from Normandy was called William, and he became our new king. He was very French. His soldiers were French. His generals were French. Few of them spoke Old English, and none of them really wanted to learn Old English. They liked speaking French instead. These French people built amazing and scary castles. And inside those castles, the people who won the war spoke French, and their servants spoke French. The only problem was the farmers and the craftsmen and most of the other workers in England did not speak French. They still spoke Old English. So, if King William, living in England, wanted to eat a meal, where would he get his meat from? An Anglo-Saxon farmer. The farmer would have to look after an animal, for example, a cow. They called it a coo in Old English. Then they would take the cow to King William's castle. In the castle, most people would speak French instead of Old English. The cow would be slaughtered at the castle by King William's butcher, who would use the old French word for the cow's meat, and that word was bœuf. This is where we get the word beef from. The king's cooks would prepare the meat, the beef, and the French-speaking servants would take it to the king. The king would only see it as beef, because that would be the word for the cow in Old French, not in Old English. The animal lived with the poor Anglo-Saxon farmers, so it had an Old English or Anglo-Saxon name. The meat was prepared in the castle by the French-speaking servants for the French-speaking lords and king. So they used the old French name for the cow instead when they looked at the meat. So now we have two words when many countries only have one. We have one word for the animal, cow, and one word for the meat, beef. This is the same for many animals. We have pig and we have pork. For more help with your English, like, subscribe, and visit our website, beyondielts.com.